And you are back on the Tortoise and Hare experience. We just heard the song The Undertow by Malaki. And we will have the band on, right now.
Right now. That would be a good thing since they're sitting in the chairs.
I guess at MalakiBand.com.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Because then Turtle will just talk some more and more and more. And it's all about him, and then he'll cry, and it's not nice.
Yeah. Well, I thought we did finally figure out that the show is all about me. You're just a side piece.
That's what our listeners are telling us.
Okay.
They're like, we need more Max.
Bullshit.
Turtle's like, no.
I'm like, bullshit. There's already enough Max. There's too much, if you ask me.
Hateful. You're a hateful person.
So as in every experience, we always like to start it off with an experience. Who went first?
I did.
You did, so it's my turn to go first.
Yep.
So I experienced something, and a lot of my experiences just came today. It was really weird. However, I ran out of ink today in my for my paper, because I always print out notes just so it's easier for me to look at, So today was my first day going without paper, and just I had to finagle it into my phone, so all my notes are on my phone, and I find that really weird just because I like tangible things. I like things that I can touch and see and feel. And when I look at notes like this on my phone, I feel that it's not tangible.
Yeah.
We're too busy taking all these, photos that never make it out to print. They're just there on servers. They're not real. So, does that mean that moment really happened? A lot of people are going to be like, well, yeah, I took a photo of it. But to me, proof, you know what I mean? That's digital proof. That's not physical proof.
Well, if somebody frames it, prints it out and frames it, does it then become real?
I think so.
You're weird.
Is that weird? Is that a little strange way of thinking?
Yes. If it's on your phone and if it's in the media at all, it's out in the air, it becomes
I think
real.
The medium is more unimportant than the moment itself. If you have a recollection of it, it's there and it happens. So whether it's physical, tangible in front of you or not, if you remember it and somebody else remembers it, so you have evidence that it occurred by the way of photo, hey, it's real.
It's real. The whole, Instagram, Photoshop thing, whatever, there's a lot of not realness out there, but, whatever, it's all right. So that's your experience, that you ran out of ink?
Well, not only that, but it just pushed everything back. Usually on Tuesdays is tough because I usually get off work at 10 at night, but then I gotta be. I'm bar backing at a bar right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I just finished. I did a 2-month. I don't know what you want to call it, but I was 2 months. I was cleaning the bar on the weekend, and the bar opens up at 8 in the morning, so you got to be there by 5:30 in the morning to clean it.
So everybody thinks that, DJs have this glamorous life. It's no, there's always a second and third job.
Yeah.
I think the same thing about musicians.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep, it's true.
So this was my first summer that I really didn't have a summer, because on the weekends I was waking up at 5:30 in the morning, going cleaning this bar. And then since July 5th, my other job didn't give me I get 2 days off a week, but they're never the same. It's a rarity where you get a Monday, Tuesday, or a Saturday. You'll never get a Saturday, Sunday. You're lucky if you get a Sunday, or a Saturday. It's either or. So for 2 months, they didn't give me, and it was that 2 months, they didn't give me a Saturday or Sunday off. So it was I was waking up at 5:30, going, cleaning this bar, then, going, doing my laundry, because then I had to switch my laundry day because I was just doing too much in one for these past 2 months. And then, and yesterday finished the majority of all that stuff. So it's I feel that I'm getting my life kind of back to normal, even though it's not, because my other night job, I get off at 10:30 or 11, which is perfect, party You know, like going to a gig, you know, if it's close by, you know, time.
And
Do you ever do that?
You're also
You never
more
do
sober than everybody else, so you can approach it from a more even keel perspective.
Yeah.
He's never even keeled.
Well, for me,
he has a head start.
He's been drinking all day.
All day.
All day.
And I don't mind it at all.
Okay, well then. You know.
Yeah, I can't wait to see, you know, how the edit comes out on the show tomorrow.
Oh, dude, it's always spectacular. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Like, come on. Well, you guys have my email. You guys can just be like, "Oh, that was horrible," or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
Blame Turtle. Don't
I
blame
already
me.
sent it actually. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So fortuitous. I love
oh my
it.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that was my experience.
Nice. Things have been insane for me. Crazy insane. This LA Music Awards, you know, that announcement, crazy. You know, I've been working my whole life in the studios, and you never get any respect when you're a woman in this business. It's, you know, it's very difficult. They're always like making you, you know, show what you got, you know, and sometimes not in a great way. And he makes me do it as well.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, don't touch my arms.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'm a much better engineer than he is, or ever will be. But whatever. No, it's okay. I get the award.
A true engineer will respect equipment, will, you know, like you just get stuff and you just move it. You don't like undo it. And, you know, that's an engineer. They understand those
I have people
little
for that.
processes. Yeah, but it's still, I mean, you got to know those little things that like help make something great.
Yeah, well, it's the way
you
that
know?
you do it, and, you know,
Well,
versus the
very
way
particular.
that somebody else does it.
I'm an engineer,
Yeah.
and I engineer all of our own stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I've worked with a lot of other engineers that have completely different methods than I do, and
And they're wrong, right?
No,
You're like,
no, not necessarily, because, you know, let's say 9 out of 10 things I think, oh, I would never do it like that. But there's one thing I'm like, oh, I should start doing it like that. So, you know, you take the tremendously bad habits that you see other people have, and you sort of add the good ones to yourself, and that to me that makes you a better engineer. You know, because I didn't know, I didn't even know how to plug a mic into a board 5 years ago, and then now I get to do all of our own records, and I get to do stuff for other people, and that's all just picking up good habits from people that I respect.
Yeah, that's what it is. You
Cool.
just, you know, it's a process of you know, doing the right and the wrong things, and just being in the studio, watching other great producers and
It's
engineers.
very easy to not
and
pay attention to. It's
Yeah.
very easy to just say, oh, I'm right, and then just sort of you have these blinders on,
Right.
and you're never going to get any better.
Right, it's very, very true. So, you know, for me, getting like any sort of recognition in this business is, you know, blowing me away.
Well, with that
And-
comes respect now. Like, you don't have to ever, you know.
Well-
like, hopefully people won't second guess you as much, right?
Oh, they still will. They still will.
Then you
They're
bop
like,
them
let's
over.
see what you got
Just
now.
hit them
Now
with your
you've got an award.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. You know, because you think about how many. There are other female producers out there that are not getting any recognition. MTV India did a piece on me recently as, you know, a premier producer from the United States. So I'm going to be going over there and teaching master classes.
That's awesome.
And
So cool.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
wow,
I
crazy.
feel like the same way for, like, you know, composers. You don't see many women composers.
Yeah, well, there used to be a lot, and then
Yeah.
it started. You know,
It's
The
now
male-
there's always just a few you see
Yeah.
everywhere. But
it's
They
true.
I
had
love-
that.
I love them all, but
I forget that there was like a piece, like, I don't know, like a couple of years ago, it was this YouTube video that came out. It was this 70, 80-year-old woman that had played bass on literally every popular song
Yes.
in the 50s and 60s. I can't remember her name. And she's just killing it, you know, and just
Yes.
like totally owning it. And like when you look at it, you would never think, right? And so like when you sort of look back, and like women were probably a lot more involved
Right.
in engineering and writing and every aspect of music or anything
Mhm.
else, much more than a lot of people realize. I think it's just sort of marginalized out of the
Right.
equation because men are sort of controlling what you see and what you don't. It's pretty unfair.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
completely unfair. There's a great female bass player, Tal Wickenfeld. who,
Oh yeah, she's
you
so
know,
good.
she plays with
She's playing with
everybody.
Jeff Beck at like 15
Yes,
or 16.
I know, right?
You know, she's
Come
up there
on,
just
Jeff
holding her
Beck.
own, you know, and then it's like that. She's
I love
incredible.
that.
She's better than like 99.9% of other
Right.
players, and he didn't pick her, you know, just because she was it's a
Cute.
woman, it's unique, and
Right.
she's cute. It's like she's fucking
No, she's
awesome,
really great.
you
She's
know?
really great. And there's a lot of great female musicians out there like yourself.
Aw, thank you.
We're very excited to have you guys on the show
I'm
today.
excited to be here.
Yeah. Shauna, not only gorgeous.
Yeah, very hot.
Oh my gosh.
You know
like,
what?
I don't know how you're not foaming at the mouth right now.
She's so hot. She's ripping out of her pants, and I just can't stop looking. That hot. Hell yeah.
Are you guys a couple?
No.
Oh,
No.
so,
Band members.
Well, now it's
thank
on.
you. Yeah, now it's on. Now we're dating.
Now that was the worst thing
Yeah.
you could have ever said right now.
You done fucked up.
Because Turtle is going to be nonstop.
Try your luck
about
at the
you.
wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
So how
talked
you
about
doing
an
now?
experience, right? Get off the show, Max. Been replaced. Do you have an experience?
An experience. Help me define
Like something that you've been going through, experiencing lately, that you want to share with our listeners?
lots of experiences. I'd rather make it interesting. Why don't you go first? You got anything?
I guess maybe adjusting to living out here on the West Coast. I've been out here for probably about a year.
You're from Wisconsin?
Yep, Madison,
Interesting.
Wisconsin, home of the cheese.
Home of the cheese. I love the cheeseheads.
Yeah.
Good friend
Guys
Stevie
Packers?
Rochelle
Like
from
Packers at
Are you a
all?
Packer
from Tough
fan?
is
Of
from there.
course.
Dude, football season right around the corner. I always love it
Yes.
because Max is a Dolphin fan. I don't know
I
if you know that or
am
not.
Dolphins and the Eagles. I have two teams.
I'm a Charger.
That's impossible.
No,
you.
I'm from
Thank
both
you.
places. I'm from both places, so I have to have loyalty.
Well,
so
at
when
least-
one is playing crappy, then
At least it's
I'm
AFC,
all for the
NFC,
other one.
You know,
Yeah.
at least you can make that. Okay, it's fine.
I'm a Charger
Yeah.
fan myself.
Yeah, that's just pathetic.
Yeah. No, it's cool, dude. Do you know how many people do not go to Charger games? It's like,
Oh,
I can get a ticket. Cool.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm a Niners fan, so whoever is not
Yeah.
been arrested is going to be, doing the first week in a couple weeks. I'm
Right.
looking
Yeah,
forward to that.
Zombie Dave Rita, who's usually here, but he's not here today. He is the Niners fan as well. So we go like
I feel his
head to
pain.
head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so like her
it's
team's gonna,
sad.
I'm gonna go up to the Bay in October and see them play, and Shauna's team's gonna kick the crap out of mine. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that.
Absolutely, they
So-
will. Yeah,
You never know,
Danny's a
man.
big
It is
cheesehead
really,
fan.
it's a really neat experience for I think anyone who goes to Lambeau.
I think football's a
Um,
bit more predictable.
It's just
Do you
such a
think?
cool, it's a really cool place to go and see.
How many times have you
Okay.
got to go?
I've gotten to go only a handful of times, I think, but it's
Oh.
been a really, really good experience.
Do you go in like the winter when it's like really cold?
No, I haven't done that.
Good.
Do you wear the
Like a-
cheese?
Huh?
Do you wear the cheese?
Oh, no.
What?
No, I mean,
That's
like.
the whole
You see,
experience. You
well,
gotta
you
put
know.
the cheese on
Oh,
your
then you
head.
still get the experience, trust me.
There's a great band called Cheeseheads with Attitude. Stevie Rochelle from the band Tough is the lead of that, and
Okay.
it's all like parody. It's
Sure.
football parody. It's so funny. You have to check it out.
Yeah, I will.
He also runs Metal Sludge, so
Oh,
you might
okay.
want to
Okay.
get on the good side of
I'm
him.
gonna
You
have
know.
to check that out.
Yep. He's an important person to know. Stevie Rochelle.
Stevie
I call him
Rochelle.
Stevie Rochelle from hell. That's where he's from.
I'm still trying to come up with an experience.
Yeah, come on.
Like,
This could be an experience.
Like I think okay. So I went to we went to go see the Deftones last Friday.
I was there too.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's where I
And-
got this shirt, by the way.
Okay. So
Nice.
I was I'm sort of self-conscious, so I got this tattoo of
Around
one of
the
my
fur.
favorite records around the fur, like 2 weeks ago, right? And so I'm getting all my favorite albums on my arm, and I was expecting to go there and just get called out left and right by people going, "Oh, dude, look at that! That's cool," or whatever. And the only person that came up to me was this girl outside, and I was standing by myself, and she came up to me and she's like, "Oh, let me see that." And I was like, "All right, finally, I'm going to get some recognition for this tattoo that it took me 9 hours to get." And she's like, "That's cool, but it's not even their best record." And then she walked away. And
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
like
Really?
it's like you could have just put the period like so
Yeah.
much sooner in that sentence and left out the rest.
Best
It was just-
record is
Wow.
so subjective to
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
fan.
I
You know what I
It's like,
mean?
I'm sure she thought White Pony was the best
Yeah.
record. Most people probably do, but that wasn't the one that changed my life.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so it was just sort of like that was an experience because I was just sort of like, okay, she liked it, but and it's just. I mean, obviously I did this for me, but it's like
Right.
if somebody's gonna notice it, good or bad, I want, it's just sort of like I didn't expect to have both experiences in one sentence.
Man,
So it was
that's
just kind of odd.
just
What
crappy.
was crazy
Yeah, right.
about that show was I found this shirt, and this shirt symbolizes like everything I'm all about. It's like it's Deftones, but then it has a girl with a bikini in it, and I was just like,
that's what you're about.
I was like, finally a shirt that finally
That defines
You don't
you?
strike me as a guy who's black and white, right? I mean, come on,
I'm actually very black and white. I'm very like,
right.
like like it's there's this and there's that. You know what I mean?
That's also why I got a girl with a bikini tattooed on me, because that's me.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Guys are easy, man. Girls bikinis, done. Deftones gets it. Where were you guys sitting?
We were on the floor,
you guys had
row
floor seats?
J or something, but we're both short, so it was
Yeah.
it wasn't as enjoyable, like in terms of like it's one of those things where it's like I always forget that when I buy good tickets, I have to think about like where I am in relation to the height of everybody else around me.
Yeah.
Right.
And the chances are, unless I'm seeing a concert in Asia, that everyone else is going to be taller than us. And so, we're on
I
the
wouldn't
floor.
even have that luck in Asia.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So, like, I would have rather been sitting like on the upper section, because then you
Yeah.
can see everything a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's where I was saying. I was on the upper left section, and what was crazy was the engineering, because anytime I go to a venue, I always try to get not the cheapest seat, but the most backest seat as possible, only because of my hearing. I'm one of those people that like, dude, like this is an instrument of mine, so I'm not gonna. I would love to be in the front row, but guess what? The front row is not where my ears want to be at, especially too because I look at things from an engineering point of view, and the engineer that's doing the entire show, he's not thinking about the people in the front. He's always thinking about the people in the back.
The band is, though. The band's thinking about you.
Oh, I'm like, oh. That's what we love about Malaki.
That's
They're
right.
always thinking about you in the front row.
That's right.
So you need to be there in the front row. MalakiBand.com for tour dates and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And
That's a great
I think what
segue.
we should
like
introduce you, because we didn't even
Did
do
we not?
that. We
Did
did
we
not do that.
We were too busy
We're a
talking about.
collective unit. Our names are unimportant individually. So.
No,
I'm
that's not
Josh. I
true.
play
I
guitar.
like that.
Shauna, and I do vocals.
I was going to do that for you because I
Oh.
actually know who you are,
Oh.
but it's all right. It's okay.
You can still do it and just edit me saying that.
Okay.
So-
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just move my mouth and you
Yeah.
say it.
That requires
That's
more
awesome.
work. No, this is live.
Yeah,
This
this
is completely
live radio.
live. It's recorded live in front of a studio audience.
That's
You think
right.
about
And
it,
we do
everything
have a
is
studio
recorded live.
audience. And that just reminds me to tell our listeners that if you want to come down and experience the experience live and in
Live.
person, you can do that. We are in the lovely North Hollywood on Burbank Boulevard. Don't be afraid of the wall. I know that it's frightening.
It's a
but
friendship wall.
It is. There's love on the other side of the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're forming an eastern block on the other side of the valley right now.
It's true. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on out there, but I don't ask. They got plans up on the
Right.
wall.
It's
Some
like
sort
2
of
years.
water thing. I don't
Yeah.
believe them. I don't believe them. I think it's an underground system.
That's cool. I'm down with that.
right. Yeah.
I'm totally down with niche little
Yeah.
things. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Like
if you want
gnomes.
to, if you want to come down, you can.
Yes.
We welcome our listeners here, just as long as you're quiet.
And you bring some
And
alcohol.
You bring alcohol and
food.
tips. We have a jar. We're going to pass it.
Yes.
No, it's not
Very
true.
much welcome.
But but you can donate to
Chocolate.
donate to the show.
Yeah, just log on to entertheshell.com. There's a little donation button there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do that.
Yeah, I never see any of this stuff, but
Shut up! I gave you $20 before.
once.
Dude,
Once.
donations don't happen that often. I don't know how generous you think our audience is.
How do you
by
think
the
you
way.
ended up at Deftones?
Right, I know. I know.
Deftones were cool.
Oh, turtle.
What did you think about Chino though? Me and my friends were making a joke. I was like, dude, he got fat. And they're like,
Here's the thing. Okay,
like,
hold on.
Chino
That's
ate.
what
Here's the
right?
thing about
Chino.
here's the thing about
like
Chino.
then he had dessert.
He was way okay. So when I first
It was fun though.
When I first saw Deftones like 12 years ago, 13. No, it's longer than that. Anyway, early 2000s. He was large and in charge, and he had dreads. He didn't look like he was in very good shape, and he sounded like shit. And I saw him again, same thing. He sounded out of breath. He was terrible. And then he ended up losing the majority of the weight, cut his hair. And the last few times I've seen him, he sounded great. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be like a super skinny guy or anything like that, but his energy level now compared to where he was 10 years ago is like so much better. Like Deftones are worth going to see live now, and before I was like, he was just sort of not the guy, that he should have been, and now he is. So, just proves that, like, even if you've already made it to that level, I think that, like, if you recognize that there's something wrong with you, either physically or just, like, musically, or that you're not getting the point across, I mean, you can still fix it. Like, hopefully there's not, if there's too much ego involved, it's just going to ruin it for your entire band. If you're like, oh, I'm already good enough, I don't need to do anything else.
Are you guys that open with your band?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's something that, we don't like about what somebody's wearing, or if they're playing a part a certain way, it's like, it comes up, it's like, there are a lot of bands that just sort of like, sort of assume the position where they just like, okay, I play bass and I worry about me, and like everybody's too afraid to talk, and I come more from a production background too, so I have to sort of, not only police how we're playing something, but like I have to make sure that I'm doing a good job too, and there's a even keel there that I have to sort of have, so if she's singing something that's late, I'll be like, hey, Shauna,
she's never late.
Well, you're sort of behind on that part.
She's
And
not
she'll
like
be
me.
like, okay, like, and she'll work on it and she'll figure it out, and if I screw up guitar part up, I just hope that nobody else noticed, and I'll just go home and work on it and fix it later,
You'll notice, though.
Oh, I'll notice, yeah. So, like, that's the problem with being so, like, when you take such a strong production role and you apply it to a band, it's like you essentially have to notice everything. And sometimes it can be hard to enjoy playing music live at times because you're hearing every little thing, right? And in reality is you just have to let go and just let it happen. You can't just like let little, I fucked up that note on that song, like 3 songs ago. It's like, that stuff used to haunt me, but eventually you just have to like let it go because nobody else is going to hear it except for you.
Yeah, you have to have a good time up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's all about. Last night I went to see the great Gabe. How do you say his last name? Gabe.
Gabe?
Yeah.
I don't.
Cabana? Gabe Cabana. Yeah, that's it. Gabe Cabana was playing at the Hotel Cafe, and he's out on tour, and that's a great tour for you guys to get on.
Which tour?
It's the Epic tour. They go to all the universities,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
And it
That's cool.
should be long because it is epic.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. So they're like out there with their bus, and they've got all these different bands that are touring together, and they're just so much fun.
That's cool.
Really
Cool.
great. And they've been on the show here before, and they were our only guest who have ever taken their clothes off on the air.
It's hot enough in here, I'm thinking about it.
I'm down.
The entire
I'm
band,
down.
they just, as we kept
I'm
going,
only
more
down
and
Sean
more
takes her
clothes
clothes off, too.
came off. Yeah, so we were hoping that, you would get naked for us.
Yeah.
Any chance? No?
Don't throw no. Any chance? Yes. You always, yes. Any chance? Yes.
For those listening, they weren't looking at me or asking me.
Of course not.
Well, I am.
Oh,
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not going to happen.
Oh, we haven't said no.
Yeah.
No, all right.
This is why you have tons of fans, Shauna.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just never say no.
She's
Exactly.
a team player. She's a team player.
Like that. Very much so. Dude, Max. I really like chips, man.
I know you do. You really like food
I
in
do.
general.
Food's good.
Yeah.
I always bring food
Food's
every
good.
every time that we're on.
What's your
Mhm.
favorite kind of chip?
You know what? Right now, that chip right now, that kettle,
Kettle, yeah, kettle
That
chip.
chip.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
whatever's here at the moment.
You ever had
Yeah.
ketchup chips? The
Ketchup chips.
Those
Canadian-
are the
Canadian
devil.
favorite?
I love
No.
those.
Well, yeah, dude,
Yeah,
the
the-
ketchup chips are like epic.
Yeah,
Like,
have
you
you
can't
had
get
the
them here.
ketchup Lay's?
And so I was
Oh, they're good.
was
They're
hanging out with
like
a
from
Canadian friend of
Canada.
mine. She bought them from her flight over. I was like, what in
It's
the
really
hell is
good.
that?
It's like
She's
ketchup
chips,
chips,
dude.
but they're good.
Like like
Okay.
yeah. And it's just like really like I'm like never had one. When I had one, it was just like I think it was. I built it up. It's one of those things where you build up just because you see it and you really want it, and it was actually lived up to my expectation.
Wow.
So yeah.
They're
Delicious.
good.
So if you ever get the opportunity, you'll be basking in the wonderfulness of ketchup chips.
Yeah,
Can't you just squirt some ketchup on it?
I,
I think it's the same. Chips can get soggy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I would do? I would do. I like ketchup, but I like ketchup and mustard together. So I'd probably throw some mustard on that ketchup chip, and that would just make it mine forever.
that might go
That
viral
might-
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Damn
It might
it.
blow some people's
You'll be
minds.
the next Lay's flavor.
And ketchup and mustard. Dude, I love mustard. Mustard is like a great secret ingredient, you know?
It's always It's always the best at the ballpark, though. For some reason, I don't know if they sprinkle a little crack in it or something like that.
Are you a Dodger fan, by the way?
I am hardcore Dodger fan.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we could just leave.
Can we cliff notes how like how amazing we feel about our team?
Dude.
Yeah. Dude.
Let me tell you this. You know what I love about our team? We did 2 no-hitters within 10 days of each other.
Yeah, we got no-hit twice.
And you know what? Yeah. You know why we did it is because Vin Scully needed another one. He needed to call another one. That's
I mean,
we did it for Vin.
I'd rather them, not get no-hit, but that's an okay thing. Actually, Vin Scully didn't call the last one. It was an ESPN game.
Are you excited that he's going to be calling next year?
I am. I mean, here's the thing about Vin Scully. It's like I don't want to get. I want him to quit when he's comfortable because I don't want him to end up embarrassing himself. Like I don't know if he took like the Joe Rogan like brain pill because a few years ago he was not doing so well,
right?
And he's been really on it the last few years. Yeah. So I'm like whenever. I hope that we can have him for the entirety of next year, and then he can ride off into the sunset, and that'll be great.
Yes,
it's impossible to replace him.
Right.
Yeah, he's the voice of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
definitely.
know, the longest running
it's like
announcer
7 years
for one team ever.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, I'm supposed to go to the game tonight actually and see Kershaw and Baumgartner do battle.
No, tonight's not Kershaw.
I'm
Kershaw was yesterday.
Greinke.
You call yourself a fan? No,
Kershaw's tomorrow. Kershaw pinch hit last night.
Yeah, I saw that. I listened to it because I was at work until 9. Well, I'm at work until 10:30, but at 9 we close and everybody leaves. And when everybody leaves, I put on the game on the radio, and so I'm just there cleaning and then just listening to the game, and it was just like, whoa, man, that was cool. I'm excited for today because it depends. The time I get back today. The show may, by the way, thank you guys for downloading the show. I know it came out a little late, but that's because I had to watch the Dodger game.
No.
I went till 1 a.m. last night. Like I got home from the studio and like I'd missed all the excitement, and then I started watching it like around the 8th or 9th inning.
Oh, you have Time Warner Cable?
No, I don't know. Well,
you're supposed to be like yes,
yes, absolutely. No, there's tricks and things that like I have DirecTV, and there are multiple ways to watch Dodger games
on DirecTV.
On any provider,
that's
absolutely.
What I have.
Yeah,
wow!
You can if you want it bad enough, you can do it. It will
only
cost
it's illegal.
you $4.95 a month. It's technically not.
Well,
wow.
It's borrowing.
That's cool. I had to watch it on my game or on my phone, and it's like this like little thing. It just shows a picture, and then it says whether it's a strike or a ball.
Game day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. And then, but I do it for Yahoo Sports, so I was there just bar backing and then just sitting down and just watching it, and that was fun. That was fun. I'm so glad we won. People are Don Mattingly is polarizing. Let me just say that
he's not very good.
He's very polarizing. People either love him or hate him. Just signed for another 3 more years. I don't know if you caught that or not. He's going to be another Dodger coach for another 3 more years.
MLB has a history of firing coaches before their 10 years through. So I just scratch my head sometimes and be like, what's going to happen is going to happen, But it's just, when you see Bruce Bochy, like with mediocre teams winning the World Series 3 out of the last 5 years, it's not because his team's better. It's because he's an excellent statistician or strategizer?
Statistician.
Yes, whatever. I was probably
correct term.
Okay.
Right.
So I got it right the first time and then screwed it up.
That's
awesome. Yes.
Yep. Second
awesome.
thought.
So yeah, but
second.
baseball's baseball. It's September. It's the best time of year for sports. Football starts and the playoffs are going to happen in a month.
Yeah.
So,
right. And then hockey starts.
Yep. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
ESPN finally has something to talk about again. It's going to be great.
Isn't that crazy that ESPN is still right now? All the girls just checked out. Isn't it great?
Excuse me.
No, but I'm just saying ESPN is still considered an authority after Fox Sports 1. Is trying to be like the new ESPN. You know what I mean?
It's never going to happen. ESPN sort of cornered the market, and they got Disney's money. I mean, what's funny is the stories you hear, like, it's just like in the national news media, but for sports, like all the stories that they emphasize when there's not much going on, when there's just baseball, it's like this Tom Brady thing that they're blowing out of proportion, and all these other minor sports stories that they blow out of proportion. A lot of that stuff goes away, and they start focusing on the games again right around September, October, and that's always fun. That's always more fun,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was watching this PBS. I watch a lot of PBS too.
Okay.
And PBS did this thing called like Frontline, and it was about concussions in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Holy
bad.
cow, man, that was
really bad.
crazy. I never really even think about it. Like everybody just hitting each other. I was in football in in high school for 2 years, and I'm wondering if anything ever happened to my head because of
Well,
that.
come on.
Well, I'm clearly brilliant, so it must have whatever happened.
Brilliant. Yeah.
You could have invented, the cure for some horrible disease, but instead you played football.
Right.
You do brilliant. Yeah.
So yeah, so I was thinking a lot about that, especially football coming up, and part of me is just like, well, it's real weird because these guys are getting paid a lot of money, and that's how we were all justifying like their concussion. Like, well, they got $1 billion or like $400 or whatever to take that hit. So
there's plenty of dangerous jobs people get paid a lot of money to do that might end up in death or catastrophic injury.
Yeah.
I mean,
musicians, hello, touring musicians, you could die.
Oh, you could, yeah. I mean, that's true. I think catastrophic injury is more reserved for probably sports stars above musicians. But like, it's unfair. I think that people are just like, oh, the NFL is this evil entity. Yeah, they probably tried to cover it up. The reality is, these people, at this point now, in the last 10 years, are starting to know the risks of their profession, and if they choose to do it, then it's sort of at this point on them. I think people are pretty aware of what's happening. I'm still going to watch football. It's not nearly as violent as rugby, it seems,
right.
And I don't know. I mean, like, well, what do you think, Shauna? Do you think if people know the risks,
Yeah. I mean, I still watch it. I grew up in a family that are like pretty avid sport watchers. My grandma, well,
no way. That's
rest
cool.
in peace. But she was definitely, she football, hockey and basketball, and she mainly our college team, which is the Badgers. She could like name all the roles and all the players' names and everything, and she was.
I would have loved her.
She was awesome.
I have a lot of clients, patients, because one of my other jobs is I'm a practitioner, so I deal. Yes,
Reiki.
natural medicine. So
I
deal. Yes, Reiki.
Yeah.
I deal with a lot of sports stars and
Cool.
their injuries,
Wow.
and they don't know. They really don't know.
Even today, like with all the media, I mean, it's pretty.
Really?
You kind of have to live pretty secluded to not know these.
You know,
things.
you have when you're growing up and you put on that helmet for the first time, you are thinking that that's going to protect you.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking.
false
That's
sense of
what
security.
everybody tells you. That those pads and that helmet are going to protect you, and you're going to be just fine, son.
And that cup
Just
is going to protect
just
your
keep
balls.
going, son. We'll shoot you up with some steroids, and you'll get right back out there, and you'll keep injuring yourself over and over and over again until the point when.
Yeah, but that's on the medical team that's like telling these people, oh,
well,
we're medical people.
Absolutely, there
Like,
has
it's
to
cool.
be responsible.
Well, wouldn't you say that, like, let's say it's 2015 versus 2005 or 2000, like. I can't even tell you if I heard about concussions or dangers from football at all, like back then. And now it's sort of everywhere, and it's a very hot time. Will Smith is coming out with a movie on Christmas about the doctor that discovered the connection between concussions and NFL players' suicidal tendencies.
Sure.
And, it's becoming a very known thing. So if you're younger and you don't know that,
right.
It's
but the parents need to be responsible as well. They need to, make sure that the schools and the teams that they're playing for are using proper equipment, because a lot of times you're in in a neighborhood that really can't afford good equipment, and we need people to go out there and support those teams and donate to them so that they can have people looking out for them.
But at the same time, those teams that don't have that equipment, there's so much machismo being tossed around.
Yeah, but that's not going to help your brain. It's just not. I know you're a macho kind of
not that macho. I mean,
Marine. But you wore a shell, so it doesn't matter.
I do.
I see the tide turning, though. I see the awareness becoming, much more out there, and it's like it's only a matter of time before something has to change.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's only so many suicides that can occur. There's so many people that can hurt other people before the majority are just going to hopefully stand up and say no.
Yeah.
And things are have to change.
And the reason why I say that musicians are also at risk is because I can't even tell you how many doctors go out there and shoot up these musicians, full of steroids when they're injured to, finish a tour. And they come home, they have, nodes on their vocal cords or strains. Their bodies are bruised and injured, and, Foo Fighters, there's a perfect example. The poor guy breaks his leg, lays there, and still is performing. He's still performing. And he's so...
what do you call that?
That's balls. It's freaking balls, man.
Is that, or is that stupidity?
No, I don't think it's stupid on his part, because he needed to keep his fans calm so that there wasn't a riot at that moment.
Anyways.
Yeah.
There's some adrenaline going through the system for sure.
But the pressure is so hard to,
But as you're the manager,
I would have had him on the stretcher so fast and out of there so quickly. But politically, that was the right move to make for his fans.
Nothing is maybe catastrophic as that. Like, we filmed a DVD at the Troubadour this past January.
The Troop,
which is gonna come out. Hopefully, they're being made right now, so hopefully, they'll be available in the next month or so. But our bass player threw out his back the night before the show, and so he shows up all hobbled, and it's just he's in really bad shape. And there was we had made such plans, okay, we're filming the show and all this kind of stuff, and I had, I had been playing so much because I was in the process of recording at the time that I had cut my finger, so I had it super glued. I mean, these are sort of musician type injuries,
right.
And you just when you watch the DVD, you really can't tell that, for example, his back was out, or that she wasn't feeling. She was actually, I don't know if you remember this, but you weren't feeling very good the night before. You had you were sort of not sick, but you were sort of feeling it coming on, and the performance. Yeah. You can't tell. I don't think that all of that was going on.
Right. You just get out there and you perform, and it's funny because, with the concussions, there's also brainstem injuries from headbanging. So a lot of musicians are really getting injured from just trying to give their fans the best show, and not thinking.
And that stuff really bad.
Yeah, it's you do that, your back is gone, and it's not always suicide by drugs. It's just from working your ass off.
So the last time that we went out on the road, the first show is always the toughest on your body, and then the second show, you're sore as hell, but you play it and you honestly don't feel the pain the way you did after.
That's because your brain is shutting that neuron off.
After the second show, it's you don't feel any worse than you did after playing the first show, and then honestly, it gets better and better and better as you go on, because it could be psychological, it could be physical, it could be a lot of things, but eventually you just have to sort of just get through it and get used to it. I don't know what kind of damage I've caused throughout my life, headbanging or playing music. Hopefully not too much.
Well, I work again with a lot of musicians, and that's a lot of their problems. Stomping their foot, jumping up and down. Yeah. Back problems. Spinal cords.
They're not natural movements.
Right. Exactly. So it is the same. I think that musicians should get paid what football players get paid, because every time that they get on there,
if there's enough money to go around.
I think there's
the good
tons.
Ones should.
I think there's tons of money out there.
Well, it's funny you
I
say
don't know.
that.
Just as a musician, I just want more money.
Here's an interesting point you brought up, because should musicians be getting paid a lot of money? And it's there are a lot of musicians out there that are really, really good at what they do that 15, 20 years ago would have been making a substantial amount of money.
Right.
Even the ones on the lower level, the ones that are just starting out, could it could have been a career. And now it's not that only the top rise to the surface for income. It's really more about what is the most marketable, and that's usually about what looks the best versus what sounds the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really difficult to know that as a musician in 2015 and say, okay, well, not only do we have to look as cute as we can look,
yes,
but
Shauna, great job, by the way.
But she gets on stage in high heels and she's dancing around.
Rips.
She's headbanging. I've seen your shows.
And she's on a box that lights up and shows her
rip pants.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
So you gotta protect yourself.
It's part
insurance policy.
We have to we have to look a certain way in order to evoke a certain response, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But you have a lot of bands out there now that are sort of getting their break that are all image and no substance whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's
definitely.
sort of do we really have to stoop down to that level, and the product, the music, the thing that we all care about, that we all listen to in our car is so in my opinion, just so not good anymore because everybody wants to make a quick buck. The best way to do that is to shock somebody or to look a certain way that evokes a certain reaction. The music, the kids that are growing up in the last, 10 years, like, it's not as much about the music as it is about the presentation.
Right. That's true. That's true. You want a lot for your money. What do you think, Turtle?
I think I have no money, so I want as much as possible. For free.
You're just so greedy.
Not greedy. I'm
greedy,
just,
greedy man.
I'm just a person that's living in a internet world. You know what I mean? Where it's like, well, why pay for it when I can get it for free?
Do you ever pay for music, or do you just hijack it?
Here's the thing. Because I'm in music, it's real weird. It's, and people that are in niche industries, if they don't want something, but they're in that niche industry, it's available to them all the time.
Sure.
And I'm not saying I don't want music, but it's getting to the point where I'm getting sent so much music that I'm like, dude, I can't accept any more hard copies of music because it's just like I'm running out of room.
You're oversaturated.
Yeah, I'm oversaturated. So, I never have to worry about buying music for the rest of my life. Yeah. Because I'm always going to be sent
I still go out and buy, or download, songs and just to be supportive of the bands out there.
I'm a tangible person. You know what I mean? I really don't like. I'll download. You know what I like?
You can buy a whole album for like $1, so it's kind of crazy.
I know, but it's not tangible. I like to hold something and know that I bought it.
I'll draw you a picture. I'll hold you.
That's cool, but I always like the like, oh, you get a CD and there's a code in there. Besides the booklet and stuff, which I like, but I also like, and here's all the MP3 files too. So it's like you get the CD, you get that, and then you get all that fun stuff. Yeah. Just because, again, people want tangible. They want to hold something, and like when I'm listening to a song, and if I have it on CD, I'm looking at the song's name on the CD while listening to it. It's.
You're right. There's a disconnect now between what music is versus, because there used to be that, I rip off the cellophane feeling.
I love that. Yeah. I did it today. Yeah. I did it today with a heart retrospective.
Heck yeah.
You can't do that really anymore. And that's, it's two things, though. It's one, us reminiscing about how things used to be, and it's also...
Are we old? Are we old?
I mean,
you're old.
It's just not the way it is, and I think I can adapt to the non-tangibility of the product itself, but I can't adapt to the fact that nobody is respectful enough of the music that they love to buy it. I think that's
been the hardest.
That's a challenge. We did this thing for Revolver. Or with Revolver, we released a new EP a few weeks ago.
This is the Black EP?
Yeah. Yep. And, so we basically sold, I think on one day, we sold like 42 copies online on the day that we did the first day that we did this thing with Revolver. And that to me was amazing, that there were 42 people out there that actually purchased a digital copy of our EP. The reality is that if this was 15 years ago, how many more people with the same amount of exposure would have actually chose to purchase that? And it's impossible to calculate. It probably would have been significantly more. And so by, and this is like why we're a band. Like we don't always agree on things. Like I don't want our music to be on Spotify because I don't like the way that they pay their artists.
However, it is.
The rest of the band wanted the music on Spotify because they wanted it to be available. And I eventually had to, I had to cave because I might have started the band, the majority of the band wanted the music on Spotify, so it's there. And so, if you want to, you can go on Spotify and find Malaki and listen to it, and we get paid fractions of pennies for that. Or if you like the music, and this is basically what I do. Like I have Spotify, I go on, I listen to something, if I like it, I buy it, and that's, I think, because I'm a musician and because I know that $7 that I just paid to them minus whatever iTunes takes or whatever, that's going to help them a lot more than me just, I don't have to buy it, so I won't. I'm just going to play it on Spotify and listen to a song 20 times. I don't think that's...
Yeah, they're going to get a penny. They're going to get a penny for it.
If I can stream a movie at my home but not own it, for pennies on the dollar, why would I ever buy it? And that's sort of where we're at now, and movies are sort of the next to go.
Right.
You know?
Right. The good thing, though, now there's been a resurgence of vinyl.
Oh, thank
and
God. Yeah.
So I'm
Do you
really
guys have
excited
vinyl?
about that.
We don't, and honestly,
Yeah.
the
Can we put Shauna in vinyl?
I think she's in vinyl.
Is that-
now.
is that
It's
totally
leather.
down?
No,
Totally
it's
down.
just like
Okay.
a
Pleather.
I would love to. It's very expensive.
She's an animal advocate.
Vinyl's very expensive to manufacture, and that's sort of a bit of a detriment when you're paying so much more. Like, I mean, yeah, you can. I'm seriously thinking about getting it done.
Okay, cool.
I'd like to get the next EP out and then sort of release them all together on one
Yeah.
vinyl
Okay,
as opposed
beautiful.
to 3, because then it becomes
cool.
like so expensive.
Yeah, make some like really cool like
It's like
colors
limited edition,
or
you know,
yeah.
and yeah, I would like to do that. I think people would definitely buy that because, hey, I buy records. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't have a record player, but I
You know what?
buy it just to put it on my wall.
We don't.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
cool.
what's cool
I'll
about
get you one.
records? You know what's cool
Oh,
about records
thanks.
is that so everybody had LPs before they had records, right? Remember how annoying it was when you were a kid? Like if you had cassette tapes, right? To fast forward to the next song, it takes forever. On an LP, you just move the needle. That's it was like
I
the technology
know,
was
it's
better.
beautiful.
Prior. You know, it was easy.
I love
Yeah.
changing the needle. I used to sit there and like that
Oh,
sound
yeah.
that you get. That
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the things that made me want to be an engineer.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, no way.
Yep. Yeah, I loved it. I just like dumbfounded you. Are you?
No, I just-
You know what? I've decided that Turtle is no longer allowed to drink wine while we're doing a show because he's like, yeah.
You can just like edit, like really awesome things that he says in later.
Yes, this is true. This
See,
is
I
true.
do say awesome things. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really?
They're very seldom, but
Rah,
you know.
rah.
But you have like a soundboard of like awesome things that he says. And you say,
We do our own sounds.
Josh, brilliant idea, Josh.
it's
The
like,
turtle soundboard.
it's like the Howard Stern show, all those prank calls, just
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Are you from here, Josh?
yeah.
Where you from,
surprisingly.
SA?
Yeah, I'm from. Well, I was born in San Francisco, moved here when I was 3, so
Okay.
I don't know anything else.
Thank
but
you.
I'm a Niners fan and
Yeah.
a Dodgers fan, which makes no sense at all.
Right.
No, it does. It does. All the good people are Dodger fans.
I wore a Dodger fan to a Niners game one time with a Niners jersey, and everyone looked at me like, "Should I stab you or hug you?" It's like, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
As long as you hate the Jets, that's all that matters in life.
They're just irrelevant. I mean,
Yes, they are. Thank you very much.
I love it. I love that we're talking sports today too. Big fan of sports. Now, are there plans in the future for you guys to start doing arena tours?
Yeah, sure. There's always plans for arena tours.
Okay, deal.
I think the nature of touring these days, if you are in a band that is not financially supported by somebody else, like for example, a lot of bands that I know are being supported not by labels per se, but they have somebody in the band or they have somebody supporting the band, a family member usually that is independently wealthy and can use it as a tax write-off. So what they do is that bands that now go on tour, they don't really make the kind of money that they used to, because like there's no music sales there anymore. It's all just basically merch and your guarantee. When I was a kid, concerts were so much less expensive than they are now, even with inflation. And they have to keep raising the prices because that's the only way they're going to make any money. And so another way that they do that is they get bands to buy on to tours. So for example, if we wanted to go tour with, I don't know, Seven Dust or something,
That'd be cool.
it would cost us $15,000 to $20,000 to do
Right.
that.
That's a great investment.
It's theoretically a great investment for Seven Dust to take that money from us because that's lining their pockets, and they have all the right to do so. They should. If they can get that money, they should always get it. The problem is that as a young band trying to make money and trying to survive being in a band, if you spend $15,000, first off, where are you going to get that kind of money unless you have an investor, right? But if you have $15,000, that's not where the cost ends. You have to, if you don't have a van, we have a van, so thankfully that's crossed off the list. But if you don't have a van, you got to rent a van. That's expensive. Got to pay for hotel rooms every so often. That's expensive. We all got to eat. That's expensive. And hopefully we'll sell enough merch to break even. The reality is that most bands that buy into tours don't break even, and they end up in the hole.
Right.
And
Sometimes there's like tour funds, or like
do it like a Kickstarter kind of thing.
no, it's all part of the like tour package.
Rarely.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
had. Well,
Really?
some of my friends have had that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it depends
They
on
have that. It depends on what
your
the
management.
tour is, too,
you know,
yeah.
So,
having
so
great
that's
management.
kind of our next step is basically, okay, like we need to acquire a manager that can sort of break down certain financial barriers that we have. We have sort of something that we're working on that might be able to help break down those financial barriers ourselves, which is sort of unique, which we're working on right now. Can't talk about it yet.
This is just a top secret show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's
Then,
top secret around here.
And then, beyond that, we're looking to basically work with a booking agency that believes in us. And right now, like I don't know, stylistically, I don't think we're as easy to pin down as, like, oh, well, we want to put you on tour with a super metal band, or we want to put you on.
Unless I went and got like some fake tits.
That's cool.
And you started screaming.
Yeah.
I know a guy. Me.
Oh, you a surgeon too?
Yes.
I thought you played football and you were erased from any sort of.
Yes.
yes.
There's lots of things.
Well, you'll come over to my place. I'll knock you out.
Yep.
You'll wake up.
Bad things are gonna happen.
Use those
Bad
yellow
things.
gloves under your fridge or under your
No,
sink.
under my fridge.
Oh.
You know where I keep
Yeah.
them.
Jeez.
It's food time.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm like, I
turtle.
do to keep them cold. Don't worry. I need your nipples hard.
Oh dear.
Oh my lord.
Oh man, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for
Really,
having
thank you
us.
for having us so much.
Yeah. MalakiBand.com is where you can find them at. And I'm sure you get this question asked like 1,000 times. But Malaki, is that because you guys are fans of,
The Stone.
or
That's all you.
Oh, okay.
You
So,
started it?
So everybody just assumes it's like a Children of the Corn reference or something.
it's not a regular show?
No.
No Wes
But it's
Craven?
it's a throw from a Hebrew word that basically means the message or messenger.
Okay.
And at the time that I was writing the music, before I met all these guys, I felt that I was finally able to. I finally got to the level like musically where I was able to sort of tell my story, and there were a lot of people like the guys in my band that believed in it, and so they joined up and it became part of their story too. And so it's sort of like the message, it's like what we want to evoke and get across as musicians and as people too.
Yeah, I
That's
think
so
music,
great.
it sends a strong message. It's like a universal message that,
Like when she joined the band, we originally had a male singer, and
no, I just went through a sex change.
yeah, well,
You look great, by the way.
technology, man. It's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
But like we had a male singer, and I thankfully the lyrics that we had, I think we only had to change like 2 words. Like it wasn't, it wasn't from one sexual perspective or the other. It was just sort of like they were universal, and she obviously gravitated towards them. And now I don't have to write anything anymore, so she can just do it herself. But it's I think everything was sort of universal at the time.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you so much for answering that. We are going to take a break. We have lots to get to because we still got to name the show.
We do. We have to name the show. We have to do shout outs.
Shout outs. There's a lot going on.
So much.
But
It's a big show.
we have music.
I know. We have awesome music.
Yes, by guess who?
Malaki.
Yes.
I
You guys have been listening to their music. You guys actually now know who exactly they are.
Mm-hmm.
So we want you to listen to them even more, and then log on to
Night and day.
Yes,
Night and day.
MalakiBand.com, because they're
And give them money.
Yeah,
We want you to
tons.
give them money.
Now here's the
We
thing.
will take your money.
With smiles. Now here's the thing. You guys are listening to them right now, but it's kind of in between the great show known as Tortoise the Hare. So it's beyond double treat. It's a double orgasm, if you will.
Yep.
But
That's how it goes
we
around here.
we want you to log on to MalakiBand.com, because there you can listen to them without the seductive.
Interruption.
No, how dare you? This is a seductive, sensual segment.
Oh, yes.
That you get to hear. So, we know right now you guys are really happy listening to the show. But if you guys want to actually just hear the band in their album form, log on to MalakiBand.com. Guys, thank you again for coming on so much. You guys don't have to go, but you got to get the fuck out of here.
Not true. You can help us name the show
please,
if you want.
Please. Let's go to Miracle, and then when we come back, we're naming the show and finding out more right here on the Tortoise and Hare Experience.